Hi, this is Vicky, also known as DragonflySoars. It is Friday, October 10th, and it's 10 to 5 p.m. as I'm recording this. And I had the opportunity to record last weekend, but it was my first real downtime in quite some time. And I just decided that I needed that time for myself. So I'm sort of apologizing, but I'm not apologizing because I don't feel bad about it. I needed it. Last weekend, best friend was in Seattle. My son had caught up on plenty of English homework that we decided to just take a weekend off for the most part. He had a test to do, but that doesn't require really anything from me. And I just took the weekend and just vegged and watched stuff on the DVR and watched hours and hours of House and watched Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure and just took some time off. I really like my new job. I love my new team, but getting to know the things they do and getting to know them as people and what they've been working on and having people start to come to me for their stuff, and at the same time I haven't really let go of the old stuff yet. We're shifting it. As people come to me, I've been shifting them over to Michael, who is my friend, employee, and is now the new manager. But it's been just a lot of stuff. And even this week has been a lot of stuff. So it's been really good, really draining. So last weekend it was what it was, and best friends had a wonky schedule where he was gone in Seattle. Monday he came back. I picked him up from the airport. He came home, switched around some stuff, was home for 10 minutes, and left to go to another Aikido event that he needed to go to. And he was gone. He came back every night, but he was gone Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday he wasn't back. I mean, it's just been crazy. So, and in the evenings I'm helping my son with English, which actually he's doing a really cool, well, I don't know if it's really cool, but it's an interesting topic on listening to the media and understanding that for the most part they're in it for profit. So you got to kind of weigh what you're hearing or reading, whether it's radio, television, internet. So, and about the history of TV and the radio, and it's been an interesting topic, way better than the grammar sections. But he is doing really good. I'm so proud of him. We got midterm grades. Now I realize for some people midterms don't count for a whole lot, but this is the first time I have had a report card since like 4th grade where he's passing everything and passing it pretty well. All on his own. I mean, English he's supposed to do with me. That's kind of it's our one homeschool subject. So I essentially act as his teacher for that class. All the rest of the classes he is doing on his own and passing them well, and I'm so proud of him. And I'm like, I know it's only midterms, but I don't see any signs of it deteriorating. So I'm really happy about that. All right, enough about me and what's been going on. He did have homecoming. They had mom, his girlfriend bought her dress from St. Vinny's, which is a thrift shop, and it had a lot of sequins, and so mom actually revamped her dress and toned it down, and she made him a matching bow tie so that they would match. They were very cute together. I'll post some pictures right here. Alright, so when I was home visiting, I knew I had some conference calls, and I knew the K-Facet African knit-along was going to be starting, so I didn't want to start anything major. I had finished the Wind in the Willow shawl, which I showed you, and so I just brought socks. So this is Knit Picks Felici in Foxglove. This is one of the yarns that Michelle got me as a swap partner when I went to Knitopia, which is Tina of the Knitting Blooms podcast. That's her retreat in Michigan. Michelle had got me 3 different colorways of Felice because she knew that was a brand I really liked. And so this is as far as I got. I'm just knitting round and round. My son and I the reason I had gone home was not for homecoming. It was actually for seeing the box trolls, because he and I wanted to both see it because he's really interested in stop motion animation. And so that was what I went home for. And then I found out afterwards that it was homecoming weekend. So I worked on that in the movies. I worked on it just pretty much on and off. Basically waiting, and it was the only thing I really worked on until the knit-along started. Which I might as well show you now. So, the K-Facet knit-along. A lot of people were expecting with a mystery knit-along, and myself included, that each week with the mystery clues there would be some new knitting technique, some new something that each week, or well, not each week, but each clue would be significantly different. Bought our yarn, and then there was a video talking an introduction one for clue 1, and they were talking about that each week the striping sequence would be the same, and the colors would just change. And a bunch of people went, including myself, went, stripes? Just stripes? The same stripes? Well, that aside, if you look at K-Facet's quilt, he has tons of really amazing color quilts that are made of just stripes. So once I got past I'm not going to learn anything from this, which as a process knitter, that does affect my decision. I'm not sure I would have signed up for it if I knew what it was. But there are some really amazing things he does with just stripes, so I'm giving it a chance. And there were 4 colorways that you could, there were 4 colorway shopping lists, and I'm doing the red colorway. So my first square, I showed you the colors last week, but I'll post them again here as soon as I show you the squares. But this is the first square. I did all 7 for each colorway, each clue. This was the first clue. You do 7 squares. So you end up with 63 total by the time you do all 9. So this is mine. Now these did not look this pretty until I blocked them. They were curled up into a big old mess. But I blocked them, and I'm really happy because I didn't actually measure them. I had a right angle thing with me, but it actually wasn't long enough to measure the squares. But they are pretty darn close in measurements, so I was pretty happy about that. That is the first one. Now, today we got the clue, we got the second clue, which is the exact same striping sequence, just a different set of colors. I buried it. This one I am not quite so fond of. I only have half of a square done, so. But it starts with, it's got the purple and it's papaya, but it's orange. And then jade, which is green. To me, it looks very Halloween-y. And maybe it wouldn't strike me that way if it wasn't October. But some other people commented on the same. And I don't like that square with the squares I just did. But I'm reminding myself that I picked this particular colorway because there was such a variety of color that I thought it was really vibrant. There's another one that's the turquoise colorway that's a lot of turquoises and purples. And that one's turning out really pretty for people so far. I mean, we've got 2. And there's a pastel one, which is a very elegant pastel. Somebody described it that way, and it's the best way I can describe it. It's not baby pastel. And those are both coming out really pretty. This these two next to each other I don't like, but I also realize that the pieces are not the whole. So luckily there's 10 to 12 days between clues, so that's plenty of time to knit 7 squares. And honestly, for the fact that I was a little disappointed at just stripes, I've been, with the kind of week I've had, I have found the squares really therapeutic, because I can just start one and get one done pretty much in a day. I can knit on them while my son's doing English, which sometimes, and this is a personal fault, sometimes when he's doing English, I just want to say, really? You don't know the answer to this one? We just talked about it. I try really hard not to say that. Well, if I'm knitting on my side of the Skype screen, I leave him alone and just let him work through it. And I don't get as impatient. He was actually giving me a hard time because he could hear my knitting needles, and I said, but I'm not interrupting you. And he said, that's true, you're not. You should keep knitting. So, which is fine. Anyway, so clue 1, and I started, I have half square for clue 2. And like I said, I'm not quite so fond of that one, but I'm going to give it a chance. I mean, there's still several other colorways to go, so I'm going to stop here and post pictures of the squares and the start of that second square. Alright, I just remembered something else I had finished that you hadn't seen. You saw some of the purple hats last time. I don't remember how many I showed you. I think I showed you 8, which means that these are the last 3. Otherwise, I have a whole pile. I have a picture that has all of them. So, I have this one, which again is Caron Simply Soft Party in the violet, which is the light lavender, and the purple, which is the dark purple. Sparkles. I used a little bit of the light at the bottom, and then I still had a little bit of light left, so I made, and this is the basic beanie. Again, this one is the textured hat, and I had a little bit of the light purple left, so I did one round right at the turning point for the hat, and I ended up with just a little tiny bit left. And then I had some purple sparkly left, so I did this one. This one's a smaller hat, like a 3 to 6. These are the 6 to 9. This is a 3 to 6, and this is actually Caron Simply Soft in the silver sparkle, but I figured it still had enough purple to count. So I made 11 hats. My goal had been to finish the purple yarn I bought specifically for this, and that's what I got. I got, you know, I made 10 hats and I had enough left over, so I used some other yarn I already had and finished that one. And again, when I did the purple edging on here, right here, that was it. There was nothing left. I mean, so here's the rest of the silver sparkle, but that was actually from those dolls I made last Christmas for my employee's daughter. And then Mom gave me 2 purple hats when I went to see her. So we got this one, and we got this one. So this one's ribbed. So I need to send those off to Katie. I realized that we've done purple hats for a few years, and so I never really talked about it this year. The purple hats are given to new parents along with information about the purple phase of crying with babies. Essentially, it lets them know that there is a phase that most babies go through when they're going to cry for no reason at all. And it doesn't matter that you have changed them and fed them and rocked them and changed their diapers, they're still going to cry. And what happens is a lot of new parents blame themselves, or they get frustrated, and that's usually when you end up with shaken baby syndrome, because there's a part of you that just sort of snaps and goes, why won't you shut up? Essentially. I mean, and this is to inform new parents that this is a phase. It's a phase. It will pass. It is normal. It is not your fault. The best thing you can do sometimes is put them in a safe place and go into the next room, you know, where you can still hear if they're in trouble, but it's a little separation. And so they give them the purple hats along with this information about the purple phase of crying. It is, I've seen people knitting the purple hats even from Canada. So, you know, it's a large organization. I don't remember why Katie started, but it was something that she got going with. She just got married, so I haven't seen her podcast I haven't seen any podcasts come through for her for a while, and I don't know if that's me missing them with, you know, everybody's been having issues lately, or if that, or if she hasn't posted it yet. But I am still going to ship my, this is it. I'm going to ship this batch to her. So, all right. And I know Crow Julie did a ton. Let me post pictures of, let me post just the group picture of the hats. Alright, speaking of hats, Nani Knits also sent me hats for the last charity knit along, Halos for Hope. I need to get all these hats sent off because I have some from Mom, Tiff, me, Harper, and Nani Knits. And I think I'm forgetting somebody. I'm really sorry. Anyway, but she made some very nice hats. I like this one's got some lace detail. It's very pretty. I think this one is the same pattern. And then this one's got a pearl bump spiral. It's kind of a tweedy one. So, thank you so much for those. I'm behind on thank yous. A while ago, like before Tiff came for Labor Day, I received a package from an anonymous donation, and Tiff and I didn't record. Then I had put the yarn someplace where I couldn't show it, and then I totally forgot about it, and I feel really bad. I found it in the trunk of my car, and I was like, oh my god. And I so appreciate it. So, this was an anonymous donation, which, thank you, you know who you are. And it's supposed to be, I'm supposed to pick something from it, and Mom and Tiff could pick something from it. Tiff saw it, but she didn't take anything with her. And Mom is allergic to wool, so I didn't offer it to her. But there is Knit Picks White, Wool of the Andes. There is 3 skeins each of this Rowan Sweet Harmony. This one's Cinder and this one's Henna. There's 3 each of these colors. She said I could pick something for myself. I'm probably going to pick one of these colorways and save it for myself because I want to play with the yarn. And then the other one will become a future prize. And then there is a bag of Knit Picks Aloft. This is, hopefully nobody gets upset, but it's similar to Kid Silk Haze in texture. It's a variety of different colors, and I'm trying to find one of these where it shows it's lace weight, 75% kid hair mohair, 25% silk. They are very pretty. I'm not going to take them out right now. But this will be a complete prize because I think you could do a very cool shawl wrap with it. I mean, when you use this, even if you do like mitered squares, it will come out amazing. So that will be one prize in the future. probably for December. I do want to talk a little bit about prices, and this is going to sound weird since I'm saying thank you for these. Next year, and this is just kind of a warning, I'm probably going to do less prizes. For one thing, it gets to be a hassle and expensive for shipping. I have said that, I wouldn't do it if I couldn't, but by the time I buy materials and then I pay $5 to $6 per package to ship it, it starts to add up. So it's just one of those things. Plus, with everything going on at work and helping my son, I'm trying to make sure I even can get recording in, and it starts to feel like one more thing, and I don't want to feel like I'm resenting the podcast, and I don't know how else to say that. I like doing this. I appreciate how much you guys have done for me, and I've been able to do for the community with the charity drives, and especially when we made shawls to honor my dad and things like that. So I don't ever want anybody to think that, but that's exactly why I want to keep enjoying this. And if it starts to feel like one more job that I have to do, I won't enjoy it, and it's gonna come through. So we're gonna do less prizes next year. Other podcasts do not do nearly as many as what we do, and I usually even throw in like secret prizes that weren't even on the original list when we do drawings. So we're just gonna tone it down. I love you guys, I really do, but I forgot to show you something. I'm sorry, that was kind of a downer, and I'm sorry for that. But I was going to tell you one more thing that I did do. Because of my ankle, I hadn't been spinning. My ankle's feeling better. It's not quite right. I'm starting physical therapy on Monday, but it's at least moving and it doesn't hurt so much. So I was able to do some spinning. This is Gail's art. Alien Baby, I think is what it was called. I had gotten it at Rhinebeck when I went a couple years ago, and it's been in the stash. So this one you can see more of the colors. That's because I split the braid in half because it was duplicated, and this one then I spun the whole thing in the full thickness, and this one I split down the center in half and did two slightly thinner ones, so the color repeats are shorter on this one. But I'm going to 2-ply it together. But I was able to spin again, which is good because spinning is my de-stressor. It really is, more than anything else. Alright, some other things that came in the mail just because of shipments. I think anybody should have gotten their stuff by now. Into the World. I'm in the Luxe Club, so this is merino and superwash merino and silk. The picture, it's called On the Rocks. I don't know what the inspiration was. I didn't look. But it's really pretty. It's yellows, blues, greens. Normally I take it out and braid it, and I never did. We were going somewhere right after I got it, and when I was collecting stuff, I was like, oh yeah. Sorry. I also got my Highland Handmaids Snapshots of Maine. This one is the International Seaplane Fly. So there's a lot of colors in the images from the different seaplanes, and they are all pulled together into this. This is the silver maple sock. So there's neutral, a gold, green, and this maroon color. I'm kind of interested to know how this one is going to knit up, because I believe they're very short color segments. But that came. And then my Buffy the Vampire came. This is season 2, so this is episode 21, which is, the episode was Becoming, and this is called Mr. Pointy. If you watch Buffy, Kendra gives her favorite steak to Buffy and says she calls it Mr. Pointy. There's wood colors, the dark red, and the brighter red. And my yarn for Socks That Rock came. And I'm sorry, I did not take pictures of any of these, and it is getting too dark to do it now, so I'm not going to worry about it. This is called Acorny. It is very much fall colors. Greens, golds, rusts. And then, of course, it came with patterns and dyer notes. You know, a couple years ago, I did the Socks That Rock, and I was kind of about it. Then I did the Blue Moon Fiber Club, and then I went back to the Socks That Rock because they had some really, it looked like they had some really neat inspirations for this year. But then I'm doing it this year, and I'm kind of like, I'm really struggling with it. This sock, it's a very nice sock. It just doesn't strike me as anything particularly special, and I hate saying that. But it's a rib sock. It's got a little bit of shaping on the top of the foot, but and then this is a hat. And I like the picture on the head better. It's okay, but neither one of them did a lot for me. So I don't think I'm going to do the Socks That Rock next year. In fact, honestly, because we are thinking about selling my condo and moving in together, and I'm going to lose money on my condo. There's no way around it. I probably won't do anything except for continue my Into the World Club, because we're gonna, as soon as we get everything done, if I can sell this place, everything should kind of, then all the expenses merge, and then we're fine. But like I said, I know I'm going to lose money on this place because of the economy. Nothing to do with me. It is purely the economy and the fact that I'm in a condo and a bunch of people around this area were old and passed away, and their families sold their places for dirt cheap, so all the property values went down. So the and we've gone back and forth, and we could wait several years and wait for the property values to go back up, or we can move on with our lives and, you know, start our life together and go that way. So it's not that we're not engaged or anything. We've both been married. It's not, we both want to, but it's also not like a gotta do at the moment. So Mr. Tiggy wants to say hello. Say hello to the nice people, since you're interrupting. All right. I think that's it. Let me look at my list real quick. Oh, I had one more thing. Just an interesting thing. I was digging in my spam folder because I was looking for an email that I knew had gotten sent but got lost, and I realized that I had missed my Knit Circus newsletter, and in it she was showing a finished object gallery of people who had used Knit Circus yarn, and I was looking at the pictures and went, wait a minute, I know that one. And it was a very pretty shawl that Tiff had made out of yarn that I gave her, because I was not jazzed by the yarn at all. I mean, I looked at it and saw neutral colors and went, bleh. She looked at it and made an absolutely gorgeous shawl. So I'll post a picture of her shawl here, but I just thought it was really cool that she was featured as one of the finished items. So that was the last note I had. I will talk to you guys all next time. Bye now. I just realized something important I forgot. I actually had started this recording twice, and I remembered to talk about something the first time I recorded and forgot the second time. And it was important. Silly Fru of the Sassy Pants Knitter podcast, Wendy, is ill and in the hospital. She has, I believe it's called hairy cell leukemia. A couple other podcasts have talked more fully about this, Fiberista Files, and I know for sure, and I have heard that the Mustache podcast also talked about it. I haven't watched their recent ones. But there is a fundraising campaign to help her with her expenses, because she had an extended stay in the hospital. I knew she was sick because I saw pictures on Instagram, but beyond that, with everything being so hectic, I hadn't really realized what was going on. So I have donated, and to make it easy for you, if you would like to, I will post a thing to her campaign, or, well, to her fundraiser. It's a GoFundMe website. So I believe it's still going on. When I learned about it was, I believe, late last week, and then I didn't podcast. So I wanted to make sure and get that out there. Now I will talk to you guys all next time. Bye.